Welcome, Divine One. We have a special share for you, and we're beyond joyous to have you here. We're going to share what we presently call the Halo technique. It's a practice we have actively been using for some time now, as a method to engage the conscious awake mind in releasing judgment and projecting the only truth we know. Loving innocence. This technique can be practiced by anyone, anywhere, at any time that they are able to hold conscious awareness in the mind. We have a few images to share that represent the fundamentals of the practice, but first we'd like to discuss learning connections that make the practice complete. Do not fret, this video is short, sweet, and straightforward, applying to all with an open mind to hear it. These learnings include the truth of our inherent innocence, self-acceptance and self-forgiveness is true freedom, that all life is our family, and a law of the universe. Working with these learnings, the Halo technique has made a boon in evolving and elevating our collective consciousness. Let's talk about our inherent innocence. Consciousness as we know it, we of the human race know it, has been relatively unchanged for millennia, shackled to the human body's five senses of space and molded to the structures of thought our species has emphasized through our timeline. The way the molding of our chosen structures has benefited and been detrimental to our evolution is a conversation for another time. Here, we simply want to acknowledge that our conscious inherent quality is loving innocence, as each generation enters the world a fresh slate of life as an infant. And as we know, no baby nor small child understands judgment nor war. The quote, adults, unquote, choose this cycle for them by not choosing to change it despite the suffering that has occurred through their lifetimes as a result of those structures. In our newborn innocence, we are wholly accepting of the world that is presented to us. The one that our aged children, aka adults, choose to give to us. Essentially downloading the language, the lives, the dislikes, the preferences, and even the prejudices if they are prevalent in the adult's world. Knowing this, we want to remind humanity that one generation of peaceful, loving adults that are introspective and honest would lead to an external world of peace and love. The difficulty in this simple truth is that the adult, having once also been the innocent light of an infant, has already been molded into their structure of being from those in their early life, oftentimes closing the mind to alternative perceptions of being. For anyone that has lived in the strife of this world has known that it could easily be chosen to close one's heart and mind as a defense against suffering. And when it seems that an open, loving heart brings pain, the heart will close to prevent being vulnerable to more attacks. Acknowledging this, we step into the next learning, that the best and easiest pathway to maintain an open heart is freedom from attack entirely. However, this truly frightens the ego, as the ego is downloaded from generations of our species which thrived on conflict and attack as a result of perceived value for survival. Dear child of light, true freedom is created through forgiveness and self-acceptance. As adults, having given our innocence and unconditional accepting love away as youth, with an open mind, we can see that our accepted paradigms and structures of what life is and should be have been downloaded from the adults that brought us into this world as infants. And just as theirs has been a continuous of what has been during our species' evolution before them. And that same cycle goes back as many generations as one might desire to investigate. As such, our evolution has been slowly past millennia, as the evolution only occurs when someone chooses to question their structures in the name of love, or of service to another they love, or humanity as a whole, rather than self-survival. As our ability to transcend grows, so has the ego's ability to mute it and perpetuate the levels of consciousness below love, such as scarcity thinking. Yet who that is awakened can continue with this fallacy of scarcity? How can we feign scarcity, allowing our family to starve and suffer while we build flashy machines to take their meager slavery coins and abuse them and control them? Our world produces resources for infinite life. Today, right now, in this moment, there is enough resources to feed 1.5 times the human population. If our systems that perpetuate the fallacy of scarcity, including the structures of government lobbying and paper slips of false value, they only have value because you agree they should. And the cycle continues. Do you really believe food will disappear without paper slips and copper coins your government issues? Does your government create life or control it? In this value judgment, you give away all our world's birthrights to fear. Our world needs stewards and sharers, not control artists. Allow me to jump off my soapbox and return to our teachings. Knowing that we have become the result of previous thinking, dating back to the times when survival was a true threat to our species out of conscious human hands. A time that has long passed, as the only threat to the human species today is the human species, and that is a fact. And the only cause of our threat to each other is the false premise that we are separate. This perceived separation serves the egoic desire for perceived power being the present downfall of our species, preventing us from unifying as one family. And in truth, we can see that we are all the same. Literally all the same. Same bodies, same minds, same needs, same desires for well-being and love. Only the same could believe otherwise. Any belief otherwise is the acceptance of a judgment that doesn't exist in our true selves. And our true selves is an innocent, unconditionally loving child. Therefore, our passage forward is actually a passage of returning from our solidified adultness back to that of our open childness. Not in our actions, such as wearing diapers or in being naive, but in our being, opening our hearts and mind in unconditionally loving acceptance. This returning occurs through the act of self-forgiveness and is available to all. By choosing to forgive oneself, knowing that we are each that innocent light, and that innocent light is all we could ever be. That no matter the experiences of life thrust upon us, nor the choices that have been made, or others made, or our ancestors made, including lust, hate, lies, anything negative, all darkness, anything considered sin, is simply illusion. When we return to our innocence, they were all nothing more than innocent reaction to the world as it was perceived and presented in the evolving of time. In this release from false responsibility, we can return to a state of innocent acceptance in the form of the adult, making new decisions to present the world in love and peace and acceptance to all of those that extend forward to us as children. In forgiving ourselves, we are then able to extend that forgiveness outward to all of our family here on earth. We are all innocent and loved infinitely. And we each arrived here with only our loving innocence and acceptance to offer the world, as designed. Connecting to our inherent innocence, forgiving ourselves and accepting the child back into our being, we drop labels, we drop judgments, choosing love in interactions. And in doing so, we can now acknowledge the universal law of giving, which states, what we give, we receive. What we receive, we may give. For this law, the orange analogy is fitting. Squeeze an orange, get orange juice. It's what's inside, it's what it has to give. Squeeze the angry, get anger. Squeeze the forgiven, get forgiveness. For one that gives themselves forgiveness receives forgiveness and may give it to another. One that gives forgiveness to another receives forgiveness for themselves. The only roadblock in forgiveness is the ego or closed mind that refuses to give what it has yet to receive. Overlooking that is the only thing preventing it from receiving. For if it offered itself forgiveness, it would start the inevitable domino effect of forgiveness and love. Forgiveness and returning to our state of unconditional love starts with each of us, and grows exponentially into the world as such. To all of our Earth family, let us do a quick recap before exploring the halo technique. Our consciousness mandates that only pure love may enter Earth. We each enter Earth as innocent, unconditionally loving light. That light always remains in us, but can get covered up or dimmed through our worldly experience. We can always return to the innocence in us through forgiving our experiences and shedding our egoic mask created to defend our well-being. We are always well. It is a base quality of being a child of light and love, for the vessel may perish, but the light and love is eternal. Through the universal law of giving ourselves forgiveness, we have received it and can give it to all others in the world. All others in the world are of the same one family of light, choosing to share similar vessels to communicate, so that we may evolve through communication. This communication allows us all to be collectively uplifted through each experience of the individual being uplifted and shared. The halo technique is the practice of lifting up the self and another and choosing to see the innocent light in self shining in them as well. The halo technique, it is a visualization technique as much as it is a tool of extending infinite love unconditionally to all we encounter. This is the base process of projection, and can be tailored in any way you wish. Visualize a halo above your head, a symbol of our innocence. As a child of light, the halo represents your light, your birthright of love and freedom, your infant purity, your innocence, your eternal innocence. Connecting to our knowing of this innocence, extend that to another child of light in your awareness. Visualize the halo above their head, acknowledging that your heart knows their heart as the same, and your inner child loves their inner child. You may even send an orb of loving light from your heart to theirs. Share the light of innocence and love with as many as you are able while remaining awake and conscious. The more it is practiced, the easier it will be to accept others as they are without judgment, fear, or hate. Through practice, it will be possible to halo many people at once in your consciousness. And each time the truth of loving forgiveness is sent out, the collective conscious will move further from suffering and closer to well-being and eternal love. You may choose to practice love and forgiveness while passing others in a vehicle, on the street, in the grocery store, sending the halo out wherever possible. The base purpose of the practice being to connect back to your innocence, your love, and to share it with others, recognizing that it lives in them as well. And if you can do this successfully with humanity, roll it out to all of life, insects, birds, snakes, fish, and so forth, for we are all love. Thank you for tuning in. I cherish the light in you, and if you're here with us, you are family, and you are loved. We are eternally sending you all unconditional love. May your light bless all of our Earth family. Love, joy, blessings upon you. Love, Lucid.